Director of Admissions for Shrine Catholic High School and Academy. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Mayo, our principal, first to get us started tonight with a prayer.
Thank you, Mrs. Armstrong. I'd like to begin in prayer this evening. Let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord Jesus, we ask for your blessings on our Shrine families gathered here tonight and those that are at home warm and safe. Allow them to experience your presence in the many blessings you put before them. Open their eyes to the new challenges and exciting opportunities that the Shrine schools offer. Open their hearts and minds to new journeys, new beginnings, new teachers. Give them a generous spirit to be enthusiastic about all of the Shrine Catholic schools. Help them to be attentive to the needs of one another and let them experience your presence. Jesus, inspire our Shrine families and students to do your work always. We ask all of these things in your name. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayo. Appreciate that very much, you being here tonight. Just want to do a couple of more quick introductions here. As the night unfolds, we have some Shrine kids here from just about every grade, sophomore, juniors, and seniors, that were gracious of their time tonight after spending their afternoon on Zoom to come on and share a little bit of their perspective about what it's like to be a student at Shrine. So in addition, we have Mr. Oscar Olenichek, who works in the admissions office as well and also is the head football coach. We call him Coach O, if you hear me say that as well. And then we have Jordan Westland, who works in both our counseling and admissions office. And again, she'll be managing the chat. So as we move along, if you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and put them in there, and she'll make sure that we get as many answered as we can. So let me just run through a couple of our Shrine friends here and introduce them. I see Brennan Cannaday, a sophomore at Shrine. Brennan, thanks again for being here. I see Michael Woch, a junior. Thanks, Michael, for being here. I see Perry, a senior. Well, that seems weird to say out loud. And Ellie, also another senior. Ellie Plunkey there, thank you. And Tamara, another senior. Thanks you guys again. We have a really nice, diverse group of people here. Some that attend Shrine all the way through the academy and into the high school, and some that joined us in the high school. So I'm excited for some great perspective from all of you tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe just pick on a couple of you guys to possibly share a little bit about maybe what your day normally looks like. I know that right now we're doing distance learning, hopefully till only next week, but maybe share what a day in the life of you is like when we're normally in school. Michael, would you kick that one off for me tonight?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. I'm really glad to be here tonight. So my day in the life of a day of my high school experience at Shrine, it starts with my morning drive. I live in Macomb Township, which is a 25-mile drive from Shrine, and it's worth every single inch of that drive. So I drive to school with my sister. We have lots of fun times in the car. And then when I get to school, I feel so good walking into the building. I'm instantly welcomed by staff. Mr. Mayo is usually out there at the door welcoming us, wishing us good morning. Mrs. Armstrong's not that far away. Her office is right by the door. So we walk in and there's just instantly people welcoming you. And you see all your friends, say hi. Everyone says hi to each other, smiles at each other. And then we go through our classes and we just have all kinds of fun times, both in class and in between. We learn from some really extraordinary teachers and we have a great time. And then usually it's off to some kind of club or extracurricular for me. And then 25 miles back home. And again, that's worth every single inch.
That's awesome. Yes, I can never complain about mine because it's about 24 miles shorter than yours. So many props to you for the amount that you drive every day. That's awesome. Perry, would you like to tell us a little bit about maybe what your favorite class is this year, or maybe your favorite class in your experience at Shrine?
Oh yeah, of course. I think for me, my favorite classes that have just kind of been new to Shrine in the last, I'd say, 7 to 8 years is Mrs. Sharon's marketing, her personal finance, and her accounting courses. Just personally, it's amazing. It's with the personal finance, how much Shrine prepares you for the world and college life. And the teachers are just amazing during the Zoom and going online. You ever need any extra help, the teachers are there. And it's so easy to just have a fluid conversation with them. I mean, it feels like you're talking to a friend rather than a teacher. So that's what I love right now is those courses and the aspects that the teachers bring to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. Brennan, can you maybe walk us through your schedule? What does a sophomore schedule look like when we would normally be here?
Well, for sophomore year, I start off with religion in Mr. Fulmar's room. And it's kind of a nice start to the day because his class is like really just kind of like calm. Like you go there and like he asks you about your day a lot and like you talk about religion a lot, but it's kind of like a class almost for like your mental being as well. Like it's really nice to just go there and like have a break. Like this year it's A period for me, so it's, you know, like I'm still ready to go. But last year I had it in the middle of the day, so it was really nice like to have that with lunch because I had a solid chunk of time where I could just be a little bit more relaxed because my schedule was filled with a lot of honors classes that year. B period, I have speech, and that was really different because I have to go all the way up to the academy, and I haven't been there in 2 years. And Mrs. Muchler's awesome, but that class is really challenging sometimes. But I like it because I get to see everybody else's speeches. We're all in the same boat, so it's not too bad. And C period, I have Spanish. I really like Spanish. I really like Senorita Dunn. I have a good time in that class. I really like my class this year. I liked it a lot last year. D period, I have AP US History with Mr. Chisholm. That class is super hard, but it's really interesting. And I've never been a fan of history, but I actually really like that class, US History, because I've learned it for a while. So I feel a little bit more comfortable with it. I can go a little bit more in depth with questions. I have math. I have honors algebra too. That class is really hard, but Mrs. Smith does a great job. I'm getting good grades in that class, and I was kind of worried about that, but especially with online this year, but I seem to be doing well with her as a teacher. Then I have art, which is really fun because I'm not very good at art, but I seem to be making some good progress this year. So I put a art project in for a competition, waiting to see how well I do with that. Hopes that I'll get in, but after that I have honors chemistry, which is also pretty hard, but I have a good time with that. Mrs. Sapanich is really nice. I really like her. The class is definitely really fun. A lot of note taking, but she makes it pretty fun. Then I end the day with honors English 2 with Mrs. Realm, and she's awesome. She was probably my favorite teacher last year. Kind of like Mr. Fulmar's class. It's really nice just the end of the day. And her class is kind of like you have to think a little bit more, but it's not so much stressed on like how much quality or how much quantity you can write. It's how much quality, and I really like that aspect.
Awesome. That's great detail, Brennan. Thank you very much. I think your teachers would be thrilled to hear what you're saying about them. Ellie, would you like to share a little bit about your day? Maybe talk about your favorite class. It could be your in your senior schedule, or maybe across the board.
Yeah, sure. So I have calculus this year, A period, and it's pretty challenging class, but to start the day, Mrs. Boswell is always super energetic and fun and she always wakes us up. So it makes a challenging class not so challenging. And then for this year, I have finance and marketing, like Perry was saying, and Mrs. Serrone is such a great teacher. So I've had a lot of fun and I've learned a lot about just life skills, especially in finance. And then in marketing, we do a lot of like hands-on learning. So I really enjoy that. So those are my favorites probably.
Learning about the different generations and how to market to them, right?
Yeah.
Very cool stuff. Awesome. Tamara, would you like to walk us through your day?
Yeah, sure. So I start the same as Ellie. I calculus, and it's a pretty difficult class, and I agree with Ellie. It kind of like wakes you up and like keeps you refreshed the whole morning because of how difficult it is, but it's nice to challenge yourself. And then my second period is goal yards, which is something that you can audition for. And I love goal yards. It's a great way to start the morning, singing like some of your favorite songs. Even though during COVID, like we weren't allowed to be together, Mrs. Malloy really tried to put us all together as one. My C period is physics. Oh, physics is a pretty hard class too. It's a really challenging class, just like math, and Mr. Toko really has been teaching us a lot this year. Then my D period is Mrs. Muchler. I had her sophomore year, and she's always been such a great organized teacher and taught us a lot. My E period is a prep, and prep gives me a lot of time to do my work. It seems like a class that people usually don't do anything, but it actually helps a lot, and you can finish a lot of your work. Then I go to lunch, and then I have religion, and Mr. Pearson teaches that. And that's also a really good class and teaches a lot about yourself, not only, but a lot about the church and how you are. And then my G period is marketing with Mrs. Serrone, and she's also a great teacher, just like what Ellie said, learning about the different generations. And then my last class is another prep, which also gives me time to do my work.
That's an awesome senior schedule if I ever heard one. That's awesome. Very good. Got those hard ones in the morning, and then you kind of have some time to kind of ease into the rest of your day. Well, great. I appreciate all you guys being here. I'm going to move through a couple of questions, kind of rapid fire. I really do like to keep these a certain amount of time, and it's already 7:15, if you can believe that. So in the interest of making sure that all of our visitors tonight get to hear a lot about you, I'm going to move kind of quickly through a couple of questions. And if you don't have an answer, it's okay. You can say pass or move on, and we'll pick somebody else, okay? All right, I'm going to start with the seniors. Can you guys give me maybe your favorite memory so far at Shrine? Ellie. This should be easy.
Yeah, mine is definitely winning a state championship for soccer. I don't know, just a crazy memory, and I remember that day like so well. It was just such a great day.
That's awesome, and we were very proud of you. Perry?
It's hard to say, Mrs. Armstrong. I think most of my favorite memories have come through extracurricular activities that I've done, like with the soccer team, asking people to homecoming, DECA, doing competitions there, and with Brennan and Kevin, and having a fun time with a bunch of friends that I know, and then also with track, going out, team dinners. So a lot with the extracurriculars.
Awesome. Too many to pick one, right?
Exactly.
I appreciate that. Tamara?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Perry, just any type of extracurricular. I was part of the play for all years of high school, and it's been such an awesome thing to be part of. Mrs. Malloy really brings the performances alive, and you can see it through the music that she does. So it's always been a blast to be part of those.
Awesome. Michael?
So one of my favorite memories was coming back to Shrine after leaving after 8th grade, coming back in 10th grade. That's a good memory. At the beginning of my sophomore year. And then my other favorite memory is ending up my sophomore year receiving the Shrine Night Award, which is voted on by the faculty of Shrine. So that was a really big honor for me to receive that award from my teachers.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a really good one. Thank you for sharing that. Brennan?
My favorite memory is definitely winning Catholic Leagues this year with the soccer team. It was a really big game and we weren't really looking to win, but we got the win anyway, so it was really fun.
Yep, a good one for sure. Lots of us cheering you on. All right, how about this one? The title of tonight's presentation was supposed to be Why Shrine? And it wasn't supposed to be spending a whole lot of time with the Shrine adults talking. It was more for kids who were trying to discern their decision about high school, which we hope is Shrine, but hearing it directly from your mouth. And I don't want to pick on anyone because I'm not sure that anybody has their answer ready, but does anybody have like a thought about what are maybe just a couple of quick sentences that you would want to portray to somebody if you had, they call it an elevator speech. Those of you in marketing might be able to do this, but what's your elevator speech to someone who's still trying to decide where they want to go to high school and why they should choose Shrine? Perry?
Oh, I'd say 100% the community we have here, whether it's the teachers, the counselors, upperclassmen, activities, just there's always someone there for you at Shrine. And if you think there's no one that if you're new here, you're so wrong. There's always someone in the upper grades to look after you. So never in a doubt that there's never anyone for you at Shrine. And that's what I love about the school, that everyone knows everyone and everyone loves each other for sure.
That's a good one. Community is high on my list too. Thank you, Perry. Anybody else want to jump in? Michael?
Mine's pretty similar to Perry's. It's definitely the people. Like I said, I left Shrine after 8th grade and came back my sophomore year just because I missed that feeling of community. There's really nothing like it. It's really such a special place, and it's such an honor to go to school with the friends I go to school with and learn from the teachers that I learned from and get the support of all the counselors and administration. Everyone there is just looking out for you and wants you to succeed. And we're all in it together. And it's a little cliche, but everyone really feels like it's a family there. It's really something special.
Cliches are okay in my book. I like that. That's a good one. Anybody else? Tamara? Thank you.
I was just going to say, like, I agree with Michael and Perry, but with Shrine, I feel that everyone gets really confused on something that they want to do, but at Shrine, there's always something for you to do, and you will never feel left out. If you're sitting by yourself, someone will come get you. If you're trying to find an activity that you're interested in, you can go find an activity you want to be part of, or of something that you haven't heard of before. So that's definitely something that I did when I came to Shrine when I was a freshman. I really have enjoyed pursuing those different extracurriculars now.
Awesome. Perry, you got another one for me?
Oh yeah, Tamara's point made me add is just not extracurriculars, but the schooling at Shrine is amazing. Just in light of thinking of colleges and everything, I think Shrine just prepares you so well compared to any other school. Not even academically, but just teaching you about real world situations like personal finance or taking Mr. Klosik, learning about the elections. Just it prepares you for life, Shrine does. So it's an excellent education.
Awesome ad. Awesome ad. Brennan?
At Shrine, I think it's super easy to make friends outside your grade. And I know that's common, like a pretty weird thing in some places. Like if you go to a really, really big public high school, there's like over 1,000 kids. It's kind of really divided and your grade's already big enough. But within like not even being in the fall quarters yet of my freshman year, just from preseason soccer alone, I had like 20 upperclassmen that I was already friends with. I'm still friends with guys that are in college now. some of my best friends are juniors and seniors, and I still have all my friends from my actual class right now. So it's not like just the kids from your grade, it's kids from all the grades, and you get them in your classes too. So you see them all the time, and it's really nice.
Brennan, I put an exclamation point on the end of that one for sure. And I think that's so important. You having come from the academy, that's such an important point for our kids, our friends in the 8th grade that are here in our building, to remember that your world gets a little bit bigger. It's not just about 7th and 8th grade anymore. You can be friends or take a class with a senior. You might be on a team with a junior. Thank you for making that point. That's really, really important for our own academy people to remember, that your experience in high school can be bigger than it is in our academy, which is a middle school experience. So that's a great one. Good. All right, I'm going to take you all the way back for some of you to put yourself as a 13 or 14-year-old freshman. And what is the one piece of advice that you might give to yourself that you didn't take or didn't know to take when you were a freshman? Anybody have a piece of advice that they want to give? I'll give mine first, so I can give you a second to think about it. And I tell all of the freshmen this. You cannot be afraid to ask for help. Everybody thinks that asking for help, I think, is one of those things that maybe shows weaknesses, but there's something very interesting about the teachers at Shrine, and that is that they love it when you ask for help. Mrs. Smith, I think, would throw a party. She throws a party every day for math, but she would throw a party if you asked a question. I think she makes it think that you must be a super engaged student. Mr. Bergeron loves it when kids email him and say, I was struggling with the homework. Can I have some extra help after I, stop in and see you today? They just love that. So that's my piece of advice to the freshmen, and to my Shrine friends who come, that to go up and say hi to somebody that's new, that doesn't know maybe any people that you don't know where the bathrooms are, kind of learning it all over, and are deer in the headlights on that first day. So maybe you reach out to somebody who looks lost or looks that you've never met them before. Those are my 2 pieces of advice to freshmen. Anybody else got one? Ellie, you got one for me?
Yeah, I think kind of relating to that, I would say that you can't really expect to be perfect at anything. And I think that any freshman should take risks and maybe take a challenging class, or like not worry about like getting a bad grade on something, because the teachers are all super helpful and they know that you're not going to be perfect at everything. So as long as you try your hardest, you'll do well at Shrine.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great one. Your teachers are there to help you succeed. Tamara, did you have one too?
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of what Ellie said, just to be really like open-minded when you come into the school, especially if you're new, because I was new at Shrine and I felt a little bit scared, not scared, but just nervous coming in, making new friends. I only had 2 of my friends from middle school come into Shrine with me. So, but as the weeks went by, I really started to make so many friends, and started to learn about different extracurriculars and going to different games and meeting new people. As Brennan said, meeting upperclassmen, and that was a way for me to really open myself up at Shrine.
Awesome. And certainly get involved, right? All right, here's one that came in from the chat. For those of you that went through the academy and came into the high school, what is the biggest difference between Shrine Academy and Shrine High School? I think we probably covered some of these a little bit. Maybe if we could just put an exclamation point on those for this question. Thank you for this question. That's a very good one. I think from where I sit, I see that the biggest difference is one of the things that already was mentioned, which is being able to take classes with kids that are, in different grades. You might walk into an art class your freshman year and you might have any other level of students that are fitting art into their schedule for the first time. There could be seniors in your class, which I think, sometimes when you say that out loud, I never want anybody to think that like you're hanging out socially sometimes with these kids when they're still a little bit older than you. It's age appropriate, where you have the opportunity to learn how to think outside maybe your circle, and interact with people who are older than you and have already lived some of those experiences. Anything else, like anything academically that anybody could add into that maybe? Brennan, thank you.
like academically, you really get to pick how hard or what you want to be able to present to a college when you graduate your senior year. Like you can get right away freshman year, be like, I need to take all the hardest classes all 4 years because I really want to be ambitious. Great, you can do that. You can realize sometime between sophomore year, you're like, I want to pick this up. I really want to go somewhere good. Or maybe freshman year, you realize that you really like art and maybe you're not necessarily, a genius. You can really accomplish some really great things in the art program, and you could go to art school. Like there's so many different routes you can take to like succeed anywhere you want, that you don't just have to be a genius to get into the school that you want.
Mm-hmm. It's about the other things too, right? That academic resume that you're going to work on with Mrs. Pison that really sort of outlines everything that you've done here, the contacts that you've made, the way that you've stepped out for service, and the activities that you've been involved in, for sure. All right, seniors, as you look back and you think about, is there anything that you would go back and do differently? You still have, 3/4-ish of your year left, but is there anything you would go back and do differently? Can I throw that one at you, Ellie?
Yeah. I'm not really like my sister, who's super into like performing arts, but I kind of wish I did the musical one of the years and just like been a part of it, because I didn't really get a chance to. But yeah, I think that'd probably be the biggest thing I would change.
Oh, that's a good one. I'll make sure to post this recording after tryouts have already happened, so Mrs. Malloy doesn't see it, because she'll find you in the hallway and drag you right into auditions. She would love to have you. Awesome. Perry, anything you might go back and do differently?
Yeah, I think I would have gotten more involved more quick. I think it was a large mistake to put off till or sophomore and junior year to get more involved, and probably really just more emphasize myself on grades, for sure.
Those are great learning experiences. Thank you for sharing that, Perry. Tamara, anything you want to add? It's okay if not. I'm throwing a lot at you guys.
Yeah, sure. I'm not the type of person to do sports, so I would say definitely be involved with a sport, or at least like go to the tryouts for something, or even be on like the dance team. But I guess it just didn't really follow through, but I wished I did that.
That's okay. That's a good one. I think that's another great piece of bookend advice where you're talking about freshmen. I always think that those that have an opportunity to sort of meet some people before their freshman year starts, whether that's at, Coach O's Knights Power workouts over the summer, you can meet some people there, or if you're going to try out for one of the fall sports, even some of the winter sports, they'll have, shoot arounds, open gyms, workouts, captains runs, all that kind of stuff. Even if you decide that you go and you decide, maybe this isn't for me, or I'm not going to do this, you might meet somebody there that you connect with. And it makes it just a little bit easier for everybody. When you walk in that first day of your freshman year, you really get the opportunity to sort of, know who you're going to sit with and know who you're going to sit down next to, and it doesn't feel as overwhelming. Maybe the nerves or your anxiety will be a little bit less down. So that's another good one. Thanks for bringing that up, tomorrow. We got another question in the chat, and that is, what is the one class that you would recommend for a freshman to take? This is a great class. I should point out at the outset that if you've listened to some of these nights, our freshmen take 8 class periods in a day, and 6 of those we've pretty much predetermined for them. And they include math, English, science, religion, history, and PE and health. So we give them 2 class periods to take an opportunity and have either art or choir, or our intro to engineering design, which is our AutoCAD 1 and 2 class. They can also take band, or they could start working on their world language, or they can also take study hall. So I don't know, do any of you have a strong opinion about what you did freshman year? Some of you probably took all 8 classes. Some of you probably took study hall. Anybody have an opinion on that? Ellie, I saw your hand go up first.
Well, I'm in Spanish 4, and I think that I think any freshman should take a language the freshman year. It opens up other classes in your sophomore and junior year. And just by getting, if you like want to take 2 years or 3 or 4, by getting it out of the way in the early years, you have like more chances to take other classes or even take 4 years of a language.
Yeah, that's a good one, Ellie. Thank you. That's a good one. Who else? Perry, you had your hand up too. Thank you.
I would definitely recommend a study hall, just as it is a big adjustment from the academy or any other school to jump to high school. And I think taking a study hall would help you jump to that adjustment more quicker and easier.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Did anybody take Intro to Engineering Design their freshman year? No? Okay. Okay. All right. Well, those are all really good. Another question that just came through the chat, and I want to just caution my friends that are going to help me answer this, just because we are going to post this. When you answer this question, let's make sure to keep it kind of vague. I don't like to use other schools' names, just so that nothing is ever taken out of context. So I just want to say that out loud. The question is, did any of you look at another high school, and what made you choose Shrine? I think that's an awesome question, especially for any of you guys. If anybody wants to kind of jump in, I just caution you, let's not use other schools' names in the answer. Michael, you have kind of an interesting perspective on this, and you've mentioned it a couple of times, so I feel safe calling on you first.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I didn't go to Shrine my freshman year. I didn't, choose Shrine when everybody's choosing their high school. And I think it was a mistake, but I think that it taught me a lot about my values as a person. So I left Shrine and I went to a local all-boys school. And my mom likes to tease me about this because she told me so on this, but I really undervalued co-education. Having friends that are girls is really cool and really unique thing you get at a co-ed school like Shrine. And just the Shrine is such an amazing place. So I really learned through leaving that I kind of took for granted what I had. And Mrs. Armstrong was really, when I was in 8th grade, really tried to tell me how special Shrine is. But I went out and learned it for myself. And I really just have learned the value of a strong community. Like I said, from 25 miles away, you can still be part of the Shrine family. And the value of community in my life, the value of friendship, the value of coeducation, value of the academic rigor at Shrine. Just Shrine's an extraordinary place. So as you're making that decision, don't make the mistake I did. I'll tell you that it was a learning experience and I learned a lot. And I learned that Shrine is the best place to become who you want to be.
Michael, none of us would ever say I told you so, but we will tell you that we're so happy that you're here. Anybody else want to add into that one for me?
Mrs. Armstrong, can I say something real quick?
Absolutely.
The one thing when whoever asked the question asked, did you look at another school? We definitely at Shrine think you should look at a lot of schools. Don't just zero in on one. But at the end of the day, we feel that what we're offering here at Shrine is an outstanding experience, but we want you to see what else is out there. There's a lot of great schools out there, and we're not one of those schools say, you shouldn't look at anybody. Like Ms. Armstrong said, we don't talk bad about other schools. We just feel very strongly with what we offer here is a great chance for a great high school experience. But I think it's important that you do take a look at other schools and see what's out there, because we feel at the end of the day, this would be an outstanding choice for you in high school.
Thank you for making that point, Coach L. That was a good one. Awesome. All right, closing thoughts before I start reminding everybody about all the deadlines that are coming up. Anything? You guys, I really appreciate. I should mention that each and every one of these kids that was here tonight to share their Shrine experience, these are all our student leaders. They're all a part of the Student Leadership Executive Congress. They're all class officers, and very easy for them to articulate how important this place is to them, especially some of those seniors as they get ready to start their last semester here and they've put their college applications in. We can't wait to see where life after Shrine finds them. So just a quick reminder, we usually have a PowerPoint. I didn't do one of those tonight because I really wanted to be able to look at each other and see the kids' responses and what they were saying. So just a reminder that our priority deadline for applications is December 18th. That's just under 3 weeks now. It is up on our website for those kids that are at Shrine. There is a place on our website, and we'll link this to the recording when we put this up on the website. There is an application for whether you're coming from Shrine or whether you're new to Shrine. So make sure that you pick the right one. There's a small essay that you have to write that goes along with that. And then we are not doing the high school placement test this year, like many other schools. So just make sure that you submit some additional test scores that you have from your 7th and 8th grade experience. And all Catholic high schools in the Archdiocese of Michigan are allowed to release their decision at the very, very end of January. I think it's January 22nd or 24th this year. And that again will be in what we link back up there. But if you find yourself on the Shrine website, shrineschools.com, and you go over to admissions, all of the steps for what you need to do before December 18th are listed there. Any last questions from our guests tonight? We're so happy to see some names we haven't seen before. And for those of you that are joining us again, happy to see you again. I'm really, really impressed. We got some nice feedback. Thank you guys for sharing your experience. I really appreciate you taking time to be on Zoom again with us tonight. Anything else? All right. Awesome. All right, you guys, thank everybody so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. Have a good night and a safe week. Stay healthy, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Students.
Good night.
Night.